Yes, Indal, you raised a hand. Can you go on with your question, please?
Yes, sir. I have a doubt. Is
Uh-huh.
and in and an or is and have high precedence than or?
Yeah. Actually, there is this Boolean operator precedence, right? So I think it is something like and no, it is not, then and, then or. It is like that.
No. Okay. But sir, I have one command. Could you explain it? How it
Uh,
how it interpret? How it treat?
yeah. So we will take it at the end of towards the end of the session rather. Indal, will that be okay?
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we'll go with the questions so that others could start solving those, and then maybe in the last part of the
Uh,
session, I'll cover. Yeah. Okay, all right. So let us see. You all are able to see the question. Hopefully, are you able to see that? I'll just start again. Okay. So let us see the first one. It says, okay, how do I go to? Yeah. Yes. So the first one it says we have been given some commands and then we have to select the output from amongst these options that are there. So we can see the correct option, correct answer also as mentioned in the portal, but we'll try to solve it ourselves and then we see if it is matching with the accepted answer or not. Okay. So let us see. It says mkdir mydir, that is okay. Then we are doing touch mydir file one. Remember that after doing mkdir, the directory does not change automatically. Okay, so if you are in some directory, then you remain there. It's just that a new directory called mydir is created, and then so when you do touch, you're doing it inside of mydir slash file one that is there, and then again you are doing touch mydir slash file two. That is done, and then similarly you are doing another subdirectory inside of the my directory root folder, and similarly so subdirectory one, and then you are doing touch on my directory subdirectory one file 3.txt, and then you are doing rmdir my directory slash subdirectory. So you have to figure out the uh, output. What will happen in this case? So can anyone of you point out how to go about this?
So first you're creating a directory called mydir. Then you create basically a touch basically helps you create files, and mydir slash file1.txt means you're creating file1.txt inside mydir. And then similarly, um, mkdir in the next statement also does the same thing. You're creating a subdirectory under a directory, and when you do rmdir, it's basically used to remove a directory, and mydir slash subdir basically helps you remove the directory.
Right. So one more thing to note here is that when the directory under the argument, in this case my directory slash subdirectory, if that is not empty, meaning if there is some file that is there inside of the directory that you're trying to remove with rmdir, it is going to give you an error and then the directory will not be removed. So you have to pay attention to that. In this case, however, the subdirectory under my directory does not have any file because the touch that we are doing under subdirectory 1 slash file 3, right? So in that case, subdirectory itself remains empty, and therefore, if you do rmdir, it'll actually remove the subdirectory and without error. So you have to be careful about that. It might be that we do touch onto the directory that we are trying to remove. In that case, it'll throw an error. Okay.
Sir, if any files inside a subdirectory, then it will gives a error. Okay.
Right. That's what. Correct.
Then I have to use a rmdir rf. That is
Yes,
forcefully.
I am not able to recall the exact argument that is the rm minus rf. Yeah, somebody is putting that. Okay,
Yes, sir, rm
then
minus. Yes, sir.
right, and then we are
It will
moving to the
remove, sir. No?
right. It'll remove all the files also that are there in the
Yeah, for
input.
removing directory, we have to remove all the files. So that's why
Right,
recursive remove.
right. Thanks, Himanshu. Okay, so the second one says select the regular expression to match the complete string of email. So email looks something like, some email ID is given at the rate and then the domain is given from the below JSON file names as test.json. So this file is given. We had to basically extract out the email addresses for the users that are mentioned here. Okay, so for example, for the first one you extract the email, for the second one you extract, the third one you're going to extract, and so on if there are others also. So then in that case, what is going to be the regular expression that you would use for this? Okay, so let us, so in this question what we can do instead of thinking about what regular expression to use is to just look at the options and then see which one of them is correct. That is the only thing that we can do. But because for as far as regular expressions are concerned, a lot of things could be specified, right? There are various ways by which you can do the things, right? So then in that case you have to look at the options really and then figure out which of them is correct or are correct.
So second one is incorrect because that will try to match the this square brackets. That will try to find square bracket in the email.
This one.
Second option, yeah. So this will try to find a square bracket in the email
uh,
in the pattern. So that will not
right,
match with email address.
right, because you escaped that bracket, no?
Yeah. So it will treat it as literal
uh,
instead of having a special meaning.
Correct. So yeah, you are correct. And then we see after email colon, we don't have a bracket there, right? So in that case, you want to use it. Had it been an array, had it been a JavaScript array, then you need something like this because the array starts with a square bracket. So in that case, you use that. Okay, so then what does the first one do? Email, and then we are going to not match this part, which is the double quotes, and after that everything else. So basically, not the double quote and everything that is after email in this particular line. Yeah, so this one will match the first one. The first one is correct, I think. Yeah, it is correct. And the third one, it says space after email. Okay, but we don't have any space. But this is asterisk,
Asterisk, so
right?
it can be zero also. So this
Zero
one is
also.
correct. And fourth
Okay.
one is for the same reason. Fourth one is incorrect because it need at least one space.
Okay, yeah. So plus and a star. So in the star, you have zero or more occurrences. In plus, it says at least one or more. Okay.
So in this, there will not be any error, right? Because there are braces and square bracket in the JSON. It will just think it like a text file and like parse it
Yeah,
line by line.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It'll pass it like that because we are not escaping it again, as Himanshu pointed out. In this case, we are escaping, so it'll try to match that. If you don't escape, then it'll have its spatial meaning, right? So that's what you have to be careful about. What is part of the regular expression and what is part of the input that is being provided. So for example, if I were to say slash and then this bracket, it means that in the input I'm trying to search for this particular character, which is in this case a square bracket, opening bracket. However, if I don't want to match, rather I want to use the bracket for some other purpose, like for example in this case this character class is given, so you have to start with that. No, this is the syntax. It's part of the syntax and not part of the input, right? So then in that case you don't escape it. So it will not be a literal, rather it will have a special meaning that is associated with that. Okay. So hopefully this is clear. You have to just figure out from the options which is correct. And Himanshu pointed out, I think, rightly, that this is because the occurrence that it will not match. It says there has to be at least one space, which is not the case in the email, right? So after email, you see there is after email itself there is no space. After that, you have a colon. That is okay, but between the colon and the email, there is no space, right? So
Sir,
therefore,
can you
go on.
explain this expression in the first option? I know it will match, but it will, what it is exactly? Maybe I'm getting it wrong. So that's why I'm saying.
Yes. So it says email. This is a literal match. Okay. So then in that case, you're going to match the field name, email itself. And then after that, it says colon. So this part is going to be a literal match. In fact, after that also, this space is there.
Space is also a literal match.
Yeah. So
And
that is a literal match. And then it says this part. Okay, so this part is uh yeah,
This is
this
also
part is
literal match, double
no, I think
quotes.
this is not. This double quote is not going to be literal match. I think so. Okay, this
If
one is
the
not good.
So double quote will be a literal match.
if the expression is enclosed inside a single quote, then the double quote will be treated as literal.
Yeah, but in this case, we don't know. I think probably we are going to run it on a terminal, no? So in that case, we don't know whether it's a single quote or double quote that it takes internally, right? But then what I can figure out from here is that it says not matching this part and anything other than that,
Sir, can
right?
you please
So
try in
basically, yeah, you want me to try this one?
Yes, sir. This
sir, please
expression.
explain in a BM, sir.
Okay, okay. So we'll come back to this question, Himanshu and others. Okay, so then
Okay.
we'll solve it also on the VM. Meanwhile, we'll move forward and try to solve the theory
Okay.
questions at least. Yeah. So we'll come back to this. Okay, because we have to create the JSON also, no? So we'll come back to this and see. JSON is an image I cannot copy from here. Okay. So
Image to text you can use.
yeah, yeah, that I'll do. Okay. Number three, it says it's easy. Which of the following commands will ensure both standard output and standard error of a command are written to the same file? So if you just use the angular bracket or whatever, greater than, in that case, it says by default that it is going to redirect the standard output. However, if you're going to match, if you're going to redirect the standard error as well, then you have to explicitly mention it by saying two greater than. Okay. Now, when you say two greater than and one, so and one basically gives you the pointer to wherever the standard output is going already. So and zero is the standard input, and one is the standard output, and two is the address of the standard output, and two is the address of the standard error. So and one in this case gives us the address of the standard output, and since we have already redirected the standard output to output.txt previously, this part, we already redirected the standard output to this thing. Then when we say two greater than and one, it says I want to also redirect a standard error to and one in this case will be your output.txt because it is already redirected like that. You see?
Sir, if I
So
do one is greater than and two, then it will also redirect a standard output to the a standard error, where the standard
yeah,
error
yeah. One greater than and two. That is what you're saying? Yes. Yes, in that case, yes.
then it will also be true.
Yeah, I think you can do that one also, but in that case, you have to do two greater than output.txt here. I mean, you have to basically switch everything. No? So in this case, it is one greater than, right? So because if it is not given, then it is assumed to be a standard output, which is one. So one greater than. So instead of one greater than here, you have to make it two greater than, and then here you have to switch. So instead of saying two greater than and one, you have to say one greater than and two. So that will be the same thing. It's basically interchanging the standard error and the standard output,
Okay.
but this is the output file is same. It's the same place. Might be that the order would change, but this part I'm not sure. We'll have to figure this out. Okay, but regardless, this option is correct. Okay. Yeah, and this one also. So and greater than basically says everything. So and one and two, both of them are basically going to go to output.txt. So this is what we need, right? This is like a shorthand notation for that. This one is wrong because again, because I said order, right? Order, this part matters. So we are saying in this one, the second option, we say the standard error is going to go to number one, port one. So that is okay. That part is okay. But and then we say this thing, right? So in that case, it'll not work. But in that case also, it should be okay, no? It says okay, error should go to and one, and and one is going to.
So
So this one should
one
work.
should go to output dot text in the second command. Then it will be correct.
No, might be that the order would differ because this ideally should work. I'm not sure, but we will try out
No,
because
one greater than output it should be, because
okay,
you're
one
directed two to and ampersand one, but one should also be
No, so
explicitly said, no?
No, I think it's a case like we redirected the error at output, but
uh,
after that we saying redirect this, and before this nothing is there because error and
uh,
output both are redirected already, so there is nothing behind that.
right, right. I understand what you're saying. So you're saying that since we redirected the error first to the original output that was there without redirecting, meaning meaning to the standard output, meaning onto the console. So this goes to the console then in that case. No, and then we are saying standard output has to go to the file.
And
You
there
see?
is nothing behind that.
Uh, no, nothing behind that is fine. Nothing behind that would mean basically that if you're asking about this, it would mean basically one greater than. So one is implicit there. That is okay. But regardless, I think since we are doing this first and then this, that is what is causing this difference. No, the difference is only of the order in this case. But we'll see. This one we know. It's very well understood. And it says one goes to two and then output. No, so this is redundant. Okay, it says the output goes to standard error. Okay, and then we say the output goes to output.txt. It does not make any sense. In this case, we are not talking about the error at all. Like where should the error go? Error would go to the console, no, in that case. Because we are not redirecting the error at all. We are just saying about one. So here it is also one. Sorry. Here it is also one, and here also it is one. So both cases it is one only, and we are not redirecting the error at all. So it'll just go to the standard. But this one is wrong for sure. This one is correct. This one is also correct. This is easy to understand because we are redirecting the output first and then saying wherever the output is going, and one then points to output.txt. I have to redirect the error also, meaning two also, to that place. So in that case, and one will work. Right. So that first one is correct. Third one is correct. Fourth one is certainly wrong. This second one is I'm having doubt here. So I'll check. Maybe it is because of the order. But what you pointed out also, I think it is correct that since we redirected two to and one, meaning to the standard output, and then comes this. So before redirecting to output.txt, I think the the out the output was going to the console. So if we say two greater than and one, it will go to the console still. You see, and then we are redirecting the standard output to output. So error will still show up on the screen. I think that is what will happen in this one, but we'll try out this. So these two questions, 2 and 3, will try out. Okay. All right. So it says which of the following commands will show it process ID and run in the background. I think this one's easy, right? So for the process ID, you have to use the exclamation variable, and since we are going to run it in background, you have to use this. What do you call it? This one.
And it's sir, first one, right?
Oh, okay, okay. In this case,
It's terminated there.
it's terminated. Okay, yeah. So the first one, because we have to run it, and then we have to echo the process ID there in
वो
the
क्लास में आ जाओ.
yeah in the background itself.
Sir, can you explain the question again, please?
This one.
Yes, sir.
It
So the
says
last option also does the same thing. I tried one. It
no, but
runs
it
the process. It runs the
uh,
process in the backend, but also shows the PID of that process in front.
yeah, but then again, it depends on the terminal. Since your terminal might have shown that, no, it depends on what kind of configurations you have. So when you
Okay.
do command and it would show that, but it is not explicit. I mean, it might be that it won't show. So in that case, it's the default behavior. Maybe it will show, maybe it will not show. So we don't know.
So
However, in this
for
case, it's certain that it will show, right? Because we are doing
So,
echo explicitly.
so, but I tried on all VM.
um, Rajiv, for the last one, it doesn't show the PID by default. That's the
Ah,
difference. So maybe it shows for you because it's a condition, but command and doesn't. It only runs the command in the background, but it does not display the PID unless you explicitly echo
ah.
dollar exclamation. So,
Furthermore, furthermore, if we were to do it in a script, I mean, what you are telling is about the terminal. So if I were to run command and maybe it'll show the process ID also by depending on the settings of your terminal. So it'll show it there. Maybe it'll show, maybe it'll not show. We don't know. But if you were to do it in the script, it'll not show it, right? Unless you do echo as well. So that's the difference. maybe you try to output it to some file and so on. In that case, certainly you need to echo separately. You see?
Sir, can you increase the font of the?
Yeah, thanks. I was thinking about that. Thanks for reminding. I'll just is that fine enough?
Because
Uh,
the
Yes, sir.
exclamation was not showing very clearly.
uh-huh. Yeah, this is the exclamation.
Hmm. Thank you, sir.
Right. Thanks. All right. So we are moving forward. This part is clear, right? Whoever was asking the
So what is the problem with third option?
Yes, I'm okay. Yes, sir. Okay.
third option is that when so if the command does not, like if it fails and so on, then in that case it won't be able to show its process ID, right?
So third one is a
So
syntax
third
error.
option will not even run on bash.
Yeah, it's a syntax error.
Is it a syntax error? I doubt it is a syntax error, but yeah. Maybe it is, maybe it is not. We'll have to try out. But what I'm saying is that this one will not actually print the echo, like print the PID of the command that you have run. So that's what.
Maybe
But
dollar
we'll
question mark would have been correct.
that's the return code, no? Exit code. You have to figure out the PID.
Yes.
Sir, but echo dollar sign exclamation mark also shows the latest one, right? And because we are just before this, we are doing command and so it will still show the ID, no?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this one we will try out. Okay. Okay. I get your point. So yeah, I also suspected that
So
perhaps
the
this will work.
semicolon
So
means that it will.
Sir, can
The
I?
semicolon, what does it mean? Yeah.
Sir,
Semicolon means that yeah, go on, please. Whoever is asking, I'll come to the question later.
sir, the third option is actually wrong in Bash because both ampersand and semicolon are control operators, so they cannot be combined because there is no space in between. Um,
Oh, okay, that way.
yeah, which is why I think it
Uh,
doesn't work because
perhaps.
Bash shell interprets both ampersand and semicolon together as provided in the option, which is why it gives a syntax error.
Okay, that way. Okay. But what I'm saying is that even if you were to put a space there, okay, this is the thing tactically wrong. Then in that case, perhaps assuming that you give a space here, so it works, meaning command and then you give a semicolon and then you do echo. Another problem is that we are saying that we are going to run the command in the background and then echo its process ID. What if the command does not run? So in this case, what will happen if it only if the command runs in the background, then I'm going to echo the process ID. In this case, it happens that even if the command does not run, I'm going to echo some process ID. Maybe the command prior to that and so on. So it'll print the wrong process ID. However, this will always print the correct process ID. Even if the command does not run, then this part will not be executed. You see, because this is and, right. So both of the things have to be satisfied for this to be executed. However, in this case, regardless of whether first one fails or passes, meaning whether it runs or fails, you're going to echo. So if you run this and maybe something is wrong with the command, it does not run, then you're going to echo something else, some else, some other process ID that is there, which will be wrong, right? So therefore, this is more appropriate in that sense. But again,
So
yeah,
even,
syntax,
so even option
syntax.
two, there is a syntax error.
Okay, this one.
It's a double ampersand are together. So
Yeah, in this case, it will not run in the background, I think.
yes, it is like a and operator.
Ah, ah, ah. So this will not run in the background. Okay. So this part again, I have to check. Between A and C, I'm getting slightly confused, but we'll check. On the VM, whatever comes out will be the correct one actually. Okay. So you have a large file, server.log, total count of number of occurrences of the word error and warning. Okay, fine. So then in that case, what else we can have? We are going to cat, okay, error, and then we are going to grep. No, this one will not work. You know why? Can anyone point out why this will not work?
Because if error and warning come in the same line,
Uh,
See, this one processing one at a time. So one error is processed, the result is lost, and
yeah,
uh, that result is processed. Sorry, the result is
correct,
processed by the grep of
correct,
warning.
correct.
So
Very good. So
warning
that's what it is.
skip.
Yeah, it will pick
So
only those lines that are having error. Yeah.
correct. So basically, when you do cat server.log and then you grep on error, all the warnings are already filtered out. There are no warnings now once you do this part, right? And then after that, if you were to grep on warning,
unless
nothing
they're in
will
the same
change.
line, unless
Unless
they're
there
in
is, yeah.
Sir, so I have a problem even with option one also. I have a problem even with option four also, because my use case is something like this, sir. I have a file and
Okay.
there could be many errors in one file, in one line. Okay, and there can be many warnings in one line. But the number of lines is limited. Okay, so uh,
Okay.
the upper bound of the answer is going to be the number of lines because we are doing minus. I agree if it was grep minus O and you did WC minus W.
Hmm.
Is it like overthinking? I don't know, sir. That's the
It,
whole thing.
yeah,
So
it says
No,
number
no.
of occurrences, right? So
Number of
it will.
occurrences, right? So you basically have to match not the lines, rather the count of words.
count of word for that it has to be grep minus O because we are because if we had feed it to WC, word cat, then we need the words. So the first line, what is it going to say? It's going to show the entire line, including error and warning.
And then we
Yeah,
are
this
doing
one
W.
is wrong, sir. I also
No,
like checked
I
it.
don't say wrong and all those things, sir. It is just that it is
Uh,
different. It's formed
actually, I
somewhere
was
different.
also
It's
actually
not
I was
satisfying the question.
actually I
I
was
see.
also thinking like that,
So
but
I had to go for guesswork.
actually there is a catch in this question. It is talking about server.log, and log files don't have error and warning in same line.
Oh yeah.
But could be two
Yeah.
error, right? Could be
There
two
won't be
error in
two
the same
errors
line.
or two warnings on the same line also.
Yeah. Such things won't happen, I think. No? In that
But
case,
Generally, it will be only one
no, sir,
error or
my
one
claim is
warning
something
on a
different,
line.
sir. My thing is something
But
different.
server log, if we have a look at it, then we can
yeah.
make out.
My
Okay.
claim is suppose I say this is an error. Okay, and if I execute the last thing,
Yeah.
it
So it'll
will it
count
will
all
count
the
this.
words.
It will count is. It will count error also. It
Right.
will count all of
Right.
them
Right.
because so it should be grep minus O.
Yeah, grep minus O
Oh.
should
Oh.
be
Yeah. O is missing here.
Because minus O was there in the first and last. I think it would have been a lovely question.
Makes sense.
So,
Makes
but
sense. No. No. Your
if we
point is
can
valid,
get
I think,
a
Adarsh.
no, if we get a look at the server log, it will be better explained.
Right. Right. So we should have a sample
Sample
of the
server
right.
log.
Sir,
If we
I'll create
have
it
a
for you. Just
sample.
give me a minute. I'll create it for you.
No. No. What she's saying is that
No, no,
maybe in the
no.
question itself.
You
Yeah. In the question
actual
itself.
server log from the computer, if you can get it, then you'll be able
Uh-huh.
to clearly see which one is the correct one.
Right. Right. No. In the question itself, it should be there so that we know. What kind of format is that?
If an example of the server log is given along with the question, it will be better
Right.
to check the correct
Exactly.
answer.
Correct. Correct.
So
Yeah.
in
You are.
so in that is true. Then even the option one, there is no grep minus O option. In that,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but they are saying
But
a
this is again wrong because we are.
large file, so they may not have given it. But O option should have given.
We can always take a part of the server log, no, like say 10, 15 lines of a server log, and then uh, for an
yes,
example,
sir,
if
yeah.
you are given 10 or 15 lines of a server log, and then this question is framed, it will be better
Right.
to select the
Right.
answer.
Right. Yeah. I'll point this out
Yeah.
to the team also. We'll see what can be done about this. So yeah, the point that Adarsh I think raised is more valid in that regard. That since we are not doing O, just doing all the word counts, maybe it will it will give other commands also, because it gives the line itself. No, we are not having O with it. WC minus L is anyway wrong, because you're not going to count the number of lines, rather the number of occurrences. So this should be okay regardless. I mean, this is wrong anyway.
No, so the first option will be correct if provided we are told that error or warnings will not come multiple times in the same line. Like if they come only once, then option one is correct.
Sir, actually, yesterday we were,
Actually,
sir, we
actually, it
were,
will be better if we have a sample server log,
sir,
because
Okay.
yes,
then it will be you'll be able to see that error or warning comes only once on a line in a server log.
sir,
Right.
actually, we were in session with police sir yesterday evening. And according to him, his point of view was saying that it is a server log file and we should know how logs are recorded in file. That's why they have not given any sample there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that is also okay. If we assume that it could either be error or warning, that part is also fine. What we were discussing rather is about WC minus L and WC minus W, one thing, and the other thing is that it is not having O option. So if we don't have O, then WC minus W will count all the words that are there, as Adarsh pointed out, I think.
Yes, sir, I agree with
So
this. Last one
yeah.
requires
So but
O
again,
minus one.
oh right, yeah. So we will see. We'll see to it if we can reframe this one. Okay. All right. So what else we have? Websites. What will be the output of the command? So we are doing cut here. Okay. Delimiter is this slash, and we are taking field number 3, and we are doing an invert match on the this thing. So whatever does not match www dot, and then we are taking the last one from, because it is tail, right? So tail minus one will basically give you the last line of whichever domain is not having www in that, and then we are actually having the delimiter as slash, because URLs have that, no? In the URL, delimiter is actually slash, and then we are taking the third part of it. So it should be easy enough to understand. So the last part, first of all, that does not have the uh, okay. So first of all, we are doing cut here. So cut is with slash. So the first field is this one. The second field is this one is
Empty.
blank. Third is this. Okay. So yeah, second is empty. Third is going to be www.example.com for the first one. That is okay. And similarly for all the other domains. And then
Fourth
whatever
page,
does not
fifth
have
page.
www, the last one. So you get one this one. Is it
Subdomain.net.
going to be this one?
Yeah, yeah, last one.
Example.org.
Example.
Last one, no?
Okay.
Example.org. Yeah. Yeah, this one. See? Okay, so that was easy enough. And this is about
Can you
SSH. It should be okay.
explain number six question, please, once more?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Sure, I'll do that.
Go with
So
feedback.
it says, yeah, it says we are going to use the cut command to basically, after we do cat on the website, we are doing cut based on slash, the forward slash. So what will happen that then is that all the slashes you'll have, it will be like columns. So the first column you'll have HTTPS colon and then slash and then again slash. So the middle part is basically empty. So it is going to be empty column. The third part is after this slash, the second slash. So the third part is going to be this third field is going to be this. So that is going to have the domain name of whatever website that is. Right, the third field. So up until this point is clear, right? So third part we are extracting, meaning we are taking the domain name that is there. Then we are saying that we are going to invert match whatever does not have www in the beginning, www dot. So we says whatever does not match it. So whatever domains have www will go away. So we'll be left with only sub.domain.net and example.org, another example.com. These three will be there because the other three, first one, second one, and the fifth one actually have www in them. So these will be filtered out. Amongst these three are there, right? Sub.domain, another example, and example.org. So in that, after that, we do tail minus one, so as to get the last one. So among these three, one, two, three, the last one is basically going to be example.org. Therefore, the answer is example.org. Is
Okay.
that clear?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
All right. You tried SSH into a remote VM using the command SSH user at remote VM and received the following error: permission denied public key. Okay, very familiar error, I think. Okay. So which of the following options are likely the cause? So it says might be the username is incorrect. It might happen, right? It might happen that if you don't have the user there, you're giving the username incorrectly, then the public key does not belong to that user, or the user is not there. Then in that case, it will say denied. Okay, the remote VM's SSH server is down is wrong because this will not show up. The permission denied that comes, the error that comes, it comes from the server. So if the server itself is down, then this error message could not possibly come. Right? So if it is there, then the server is certainly up. Okay, so option B is wrong. Option D might be correct, and the permissions of the SSH key file are too open. I think it is not correct because for that you get a different error that says it specifically says about the permission and so on. So that is not that error. So the SSH key is not added. It might happen because you don't have the SSH. You're not giving the private key correctly, or the username is incorrect. So it will be A and D. Okay. A and D. Okay. It says permissions on the SSH key file are too open also. In that case, you see this one.
That C is also right.
So what does that mean?
Meaning that if you don't have the right set of permissions on your SSH key, then it will complain saying that because there is this restriction of sorts for security purposes that requires the key not to open, meaning it should not be, let's say, it should not be writable by the public, it should not be writable by the group,
Oh,
maybe.
oh,
Right, it should
yeah,
only be
yeah.
read and
Okay,
write
okay,
and so on. 600.
okay, okay, okay.
So
Such
if
it
that
is
happens,
600
then it,
mark. Hmm.
sorry.
Okay,
Sir,
that
so that
is
means
six.
for the group and for others, the permission should be zero. Like they should not.
Yeah, yeah, because what they say, I think I remember, I don't know if that is correct. I think it is correct. They say that the permission should be 600, right? So for 600, you have 00 for the group and the public, right? You only have read and write for the owner, that is the user. So
So owner
600.
also should need only read, right? So write is not needed.
Well, technically it is not needed, but I think
So
600
six
works.
means read and write, not
Yeah,
executable.
Yeah.
not executable. Yeah. So if you can try with 400 also, but yeah. So it says too open now. How much is too open is something that is to be checked. I think yeah, you cannot have certainly cannot have permissions for the public and for others to read the key file
But
and
will this
also write
give
to
the
it.
same error, sir? Because that is misleading, actually.
Yeah, it says something different as far as I remember in this particular case when C happens, it says a different error, but I'll have to, yeah, I'll check this one also. Number 7.
Sir, the first
Yeah.
option means like in the when we log into the remote VM, we paste the public key, right? So that means adding to the SSH agent.
Yeah, no, so actually what happens is that when you do SSH using the command, it talks to something known as an SSH agent to figure out what all keys are there. So it is like a storage mechanism for your keys. It's like a vault, if you will. Right, in that all your keys are there. So therefore, you need not specify every time this path to your key and so on that happens, right? So when you add it to the SSH agent will basically figure it out that amongst those keys that you're having, one of the keys is actually pertaining to this particular host to which you want to make connection. So it will take it from there and basically allow you to connect. However, if the key is not added, then it will say that, of course, it will say permission denied, but there can be other reasons why it says permission denied. It might be that, okay, so it might be that you have a private key, you added it to the SSH agent, right? But then the public key is different. The server is not having the key got expired or something like that. Something else. So anything happens with regards to the public key or the private key, the error message that is going to come is about permission denied, right?
Sir,
So
how
an
option A
agent,
is correct? The permission on the SSH key file to are to open. How it is correct?
Yeah, how is option C correct? We'll have to figure it out. If that happens, if it says permission denied in that case also, we'll try it out. No, on the VM we'll try it out in this session possibly. Okay, after we go through
so what does
all the
this
questions.
SSH agent means actually?
SSH
Security.
agent is basically, in simple terms, is the client that allows you to connect to SSH
So it's
servers.
on the local machine, sitting on the local machine.
Sitting on the local machine, similar to how a browser is an agent to opening websites. No,
Okay.
So SSH agent is not that SE2001 or CS1102 something.
no,
In our
SSH is
yeah.
SSH is the command. SSH itself is the agent. I mean, there's a separate thing called SSH agent also within the Linux system, and that is part of the SSH. How do you put it? The utility that is there, you install it. No, so it includes a lot of things, right? So you have SSH agent, SSH itself, and then there is this thing called SSH D also, which is the SSH daemon and so on. All such things are there. So basically, that is part of that. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. So the host is that SE2001 something like whatever
Yeah, this
is.
this part, yeah, whatever we specify, so ds.std.iatm.ac.in, that part is what you have as the
So,
host.
okay, so also the previous question,
Huh?
like we are using grep minus v to get
Right? Yes.
extract the, and we have to
Ex-
use grep minus v and o option also, right? So o means only that which whatever is matching will would come.
no, no. So two things. First thing is you have to see is that we have already selected the third field. By doing so, all the other things are already gone. We only have the domain name,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yes,
right?
that is. Yeah.
And then yeah, and then from then, like from on the domain name, then we are saying whatever does not match, because we says does not match. Whatever does not match www dot, whatever does not have that. So it by default will give you only those things which will not have www.
Yes, sir. So it will like highlight example.com, test.org, those things.
Right, right. So no, no, not the first two. Actually, see, the first two matches, right? We have seen the expression, right? Expression says www dot. Okay. So if we were to match, what will match? Which lines will match? The first line will match. The second line will match.
1,
The
3,
fifth
and
line
5.
will match. Sixth line will match. Sixth line will not match. Okay. So first, second, and the fifth line will match if we were to do that grep. But if we say v, then whatever does not match will actually be returned. So the first one matches, so it will not be returned. Second one matches, it will not be returned. Third one does not match, so it will be given, because we are saying v invert. That's invert matching, right? And the fourth one will not match, therefore it will be given. Fifth one will match, therefore it will not be included. And sixth one, therefore it will not match also, and therefore it will be given.
Okay, so it will show
You
only
understand?
the
And from
files which does not have www dot.
yeah, and from among those three, so once you have these three lines, only three lines we have after that, up
Okay,
until this point, before tail we have three lines, and then we are saying tail minus one, so it gives the third of the three lines, that the last one.
got it.
So the last one is basically your example.org. Therefore, example.org is the answer. I
Sir,
see a raised hand. Yeah, uh, uh, give me one
yes,
moment,
sir.
please. I'll just take questions in the order. Yes, Sonali, I think you can go first. You have something to ask? Uh, okay, Swapnil, go
Yes,
on,
sir. I
please.
wanted to ask for question number 7. Can we, in a summary, can we say that whenever the public and private key do not match, it will say that permission denied public key?
Right, right. Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay, sir.
That is the primary reason. Whenever it says permission denied, it basically says because of that issue that you not have the right private and public key pair. Therefore, it says that. No? But there could possibly be other reasons, like for example, the permission part, that it is too open, or maybe the username itself is incorrect. That can happen, right? But certainly what could not happen is that is this a server, if it is down, then you won't see this. You would see connection timed out. If that happens, you'll not even be able to connect. So there is no error. There is no possibility of getting an error in that from the server because you're not able to connect even. Right? So let's say a network is down, then in that case you'll not be able to connect to the VM, meaning you'll not be able to make connection. In that case, it says connection timed out and not permission denied. Yeah.
Sir, when we do SSH key gen, so that means it'll add a SSH key to the SSH agent, right? Is it?
No, no. By default, it does not. But apparently, there is some argument. If you add that argument while doing SSH keygen, then in that case, it adds it to the SSH agent also. I am not able to recall which option is that, but it is there, I think. Otherwise, you have to manually add it.
Sir, in our for our VM, we copied the public key and pasted inside some item, some website, and then that key gave another key, so which, and then we use that to go inside access our VM. So that is accessing.
Right.
No, that is adding to the SSH agent, sir, the public key.
No, no, no. That is not. That is not. So SSH agent, as I said, is the client which is sitting on your computer, which is going to connect to your VM that is there. What we did when we were to connect to the IITM VM is to give our public key to them to IITM VM. That was
Yes,
a
sir.
different process.
Okay, that
Okay.
is not
Here, what we had, no, that is not SSH agent. That is the SSH server. So you can say that by doing that, we added our public key to the server, to the SSH server, to which we wish to connect. We added our public key there. Okay, so that part is different. Agent is the client. So it is as if we are saying to the agent that okay, I need these many keys. So I have a vault there. I am going to add all my keys there. So whenever I wish to connect to a particular server, I need not give paths to my private keys. It'll just take it from there.
okay, sir. So both the
Maybe
steps are
maybe
needed.
we can have an example also.
So adding to SSH agent
Yeah,
as
both
well
the
as
both the
sharing our public key.
huh, right, right. But if you don't add it, like by default, what we do SSH keygen only, right? So what it does basically overwrites your ID underscore RSA. This file, the default SSH key file that is there, right? Under your home directory dot SSH, you have the ID underscore RSA. So that file, because it is the default, that file, the path to that file is already there in the SSH agent. So therefore, whatever you put in there, it takes it there from there. However, you might have noticed that if you save your private key with a different name, that is not ID underscore RSA, then it will not be able to take it automatically if it's a different path or even if it's a different name, it will not be able to take it. So it's only when you save it as ID underscore RSA, it takes it. It is because the SSH agent actually checks for ID RSA because it is there. I mean, the path to that is given there because it is default. Similarly, if you have a key with a different name also, not maybe not ID underscore I'll say something else, some different name you give, and then you want to add your different key, then you can do that as well. So then in that case you will not need to overwrite to to ID underscore RSA. Maybe you want to connect to multiple servers, so multiple servers have multiple different private keys. All private keys are different, but you don't want to specify the paths every time. So then in that case you can add multiple keys to the agent. Yeah,
Okay, sir. And
that's the
even if you don't copy paste our public key, then also some kind of error will come.
Yeah, certainly, because how then the server will know? So what you have done
No,
with
what is
SSH
that
keygen
error
is,
called?
sorry,
No, sir, what is that
go
error
on.
called?
That error is permission denied again because what will happen? So let's say you've done SSH keygen. Okay, so you got a public key and a private key. That is okay. And since the private key is saved onto ID underscore RSA, that is already there in the SSH agent also. So when I try to take SSH, it'll try to look into that file, ID underscore RSA. That is okay. So you try to connect to a particular host, but then that host does not have your public key because you just generated it on your computer. So how does the host know which public key you have? So therefore you have to put it there, no, copy and then paste it to the portal and then submit it so that the server knows that I have this public key pertaining to this user, this roll number, and so on, and this private key you have this pair. So when you have the public key you have submitted into the portal, it will allow you to connect. That's and regardless any other than that anything else that happens, it will say permission denied. Meaning if you don't enroll your key there in the portal and just just do SSH keygen, don't paste it there. Okay, and then try to connect. It will say permission denied. It
Okay,
would
same
say
error.
always. Same error, yeah.
Got it, sir.
Sir,
Okay,
Sir,
because the server does
uh,
not know. So, yeah, go on.
sir, even for username is incorrect, it itself means that the public and private key are not matching, right?
Right. Because let's say there are two different users and both of them are having different private keys. Then you as a user, let's say user A has a public key, private key pair, and user A has submitted his or her public key. User B also has submitted his or her public key to the server. Now, if you are trying to connect and you are user B, let's say, so then you give name as user underscore A or whatever that is. So then the server will try to match with the user A's public key and not your public key. And since your private key is different, it will say permission denied public key again. You see, so at the end of the day, same thing happens. The pair does not match. The private key is different, public key is different. Therefore, the error is because you gave the wrong user. Because the public key is associated with a particular user name. You see, so if you don't give that, then it will try to look for some different public key. And since you don't have the private key corresponding to that public key, you certainly get this error.
sir,
Sir, 1 minute. That is too open. Can you explain that option again? What does it mean actually? It's too
Yeah,
open.
yeah, exactly. So this one I'll have to explain on the VM to be clear on this one. So I'll do that towards the end.
sir,
Yeah, go on, please.
sir, and in that sixth question, which has the tail at the end, tail minus one.
Uh-huh.
Sir, in that, how we have defined the delimiter, sir? Delimiter will be essentially enclosed in the double quotes, no, sir. But here we didn't
No,
even
not
use it.
necessary. Not necessarily. Delimiter need not always be enclosed in a double quote. It says slash, no? Forward slash.
So that is the delimiter, sir.
Yeah. That the forward slash itself is the delimiter.
Okay, sir. And what that tail minus one does, sir?
Tail minus one gives you the last line of whatever you have up until this point. So when you come to this part, just before the tail, whatever the standard input has, you pass it on to tail. So if you have, let's say, 5 lines, then you do tail minus one, you get the fourth line. If you have 10 lines, you do tail minus the last but one line, the second last line, or rather the last line itself. Sorry, yeah. So if you have 10 line, you get the 10th line because it is minus, right? So you cannot have minus 0. So minus one is actually the last line. So if you have 10 lines, then you get the 10th line. If you have 9 lines, you get 9 lines and so on. If you have 5 lines, you get the 5th line. So in this case, what is happening is after this point, before the tail, we have 3 lines of input in the standard input. So we do tail on top of it, we get the 3rd line. So, and before that we had this one. So sub.domain, another example.com and example.org. Since we did tail minus one on these 3 lines, we are just getting example.org, this part.
Okay, sir.
Okay. The
Okay.
last line.
Okay.
Whatever, how many lines you have, tail minus one gives you the last line. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay, this part is done. Yeah, this one is easy to understand. So it says remote host identification has changed. So in this case, quite a few things are possible. Maybe that the local this thing is corrupted. That can happen. You know, dot ssh slash known host file, because the known host files basically say that okay, so I have this host name that belongs to this particular IP address and so on, and this particular permission is there. So if anything changes, let's say the IP address of the remote server changed for some reason, something happened, right? Then the known host file will have a record that is outdated. You know, so let's say I am having a host name and that is pointing to some IP address that is of the server. Now the server's IP address changes for some reason. Now my known host file will still refer to that as from the older this thing, right? Older host name. And then if yeah, so when I try to connect again, it actually checks it against the known host. Basically every time we try to connect somewhere, no, it checks the known host and see if it basically matches and so on. It checks for the host identification. So when it does not match because of some changes on the server, maybe, right, it does not match, then it says that remote host identification has changed. It gives a warning. and it says something is, something is wrong here, possibly because you might be connecting somewhere else, and so on. You might not be connecting to the right, to the right server. It might be that you are connecting to some other server, and so on. So it's like a warning. But when we know that it might have happened because of some changes that we have done, we just reload the or you know the known host file, so that it basically updates the records that are there. That is one thing. The other thing that we can do is just to remove the known host files, so that it creates a new file with the new record, and so on. So that is one of the possibilities. The remote VMs SSH server is down cannot happen, we know for sure, because this message comes from the server. Warning remote host identification comes from the server. So therefore, if the server itself is down, this cannot come. So this certainly is wrong. C might be correct. Okay. Yeah, this one. The remote VM's IP address is changed now associated with the host name. So this one. Yeah, B and C. Is it the first one also?
Yes, sir.
With the nose nose file, if it is corrupted, it does not say that. Actually, it says corrupted, no? So if it is corrupted, then it will create a new one. So that is the
There
key.
will be a
It will
different
not.
warning message for that.
Ha ha ha. So when the host file is corrupted itself, then you cannot have a record. What I was saying is, when you have a valid record that does not match, if that happens, then it gives this warning. However, if the known host file does not exist, or if it's corrupted altogether, you cannot make sense of it. Then in that case, this warning will not show up, because for this warning to show up, known host file has to be valid. Therefore, you compare the record and then see, okay, whether it has changed, and whether it is same or it is changed, and so on. Right. So if it changes and you have a known host file which is valid, which is not corrupted, it checks against that and sees that it is changed. So therefore it shows that warning. Okay, so the first two only apply. Corrupted is the word to keep in mind. Okay. So
Like known host file as old information, like not current. So
old information. So if it has old information, it is not corrupted information, and then it is changed. So therefore it shows warning, because by comparing the two. That's what happens.
so the content of known host file is the host key, right? So known host
Yeah, the
stores that host
host.
key.
Uh-huh. The IP address and the host name and the host key for that, and so on. That part.
So if
So
it
is
is
the third
corrupted, you will
option
get a
like
different
wrong, no? Or
Sorry, one by one, please.
so if it is corrupted, you will get a different message.
Oh yeah, yeah. In that case, I think we'll get a different message. We can try it out, no? We can have a node file which we can corrupt intentionally, and then we see what happens there. What kind of message? I mean, by corrupting, I mean we can have something which is not adhering to the format of in which no host has to be there. Maybe we can output something to it, some equal something to no host, and then because then it will not match the correct format. So it should show that error, whatever error that is. Okay. So it says permission denied public key error is coming up when we are trying to SSH into a remote VM. This is number 9. Which SSH keygen command will ensure SSH key has the correct permissions? Okay. Okay. So it says permission denied public key is coming because of the permissions, I think. Okay. So in that case, okay. No, but then the question asks about the SSH keygen command, which, yeah, could have been reworded in a slightly better way. It asks about SSH keygen, but the changing of permission we do with chmod, no? So not with SSH keygen. So we have to be careful about that. This is about the permission again. You said two open, right? So if it is two open, then it is going to throw an error. So we do 600. Yeah, that's what I remembered also. So do 600 on this, then it'll work. So this can be done with chmod, no? You need not do with the SSH keygen command. Okay. And this minus R, capital R, is used to reload the host key for a particular host name. Okay, so when you get that error, host identification changed. If you want to fix that, then you can do this one also without removing the known hosts. One way is to remove it. The other way, a good way to fix it is to use this command. You give the name, host name, and then you do minus R. so that it reloads with the correct information, new information.
So sorry, sir. What does it do?
It reloads your known host file with the new key, right? The new host key.
Okay, new IP address or some of the.
Yeah, new IP address basically.
Sir,
Uh,
explain first option.
Sorry, this one.
First
This
option.
one is. Yeah, this is the first option only. No, this one.
Yes, sir.
The first option is to generate the key. You want to generate the key that is of type RSA, because there are different encryption algorithms that could be used to generate the key. Right? You can use RSA, or you can use some other methods also. Right. So when you say T, it specifies the type of the key that you are going to generate. So we say RSA, that is to say type RSA basically, and B is your the number of bits. So every key has a key size, no? How big that key is and so on. So it's a bit key bits in bits. Okay, so the key size in bits. So we say rather it is bytes, I think, no? Yeah. So it says okay, I'm confused on this point. It is either bits or bytes. I'll have to check this one. But again, so basically
Well,
it
it says
gives you the
bits in the man page above.
bits, right? Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
thanks. So this is in
if
bits.
you
So it
scroll,
says
yeah,
4096 bits is oh, it says here, no? B is okay, B is in bits. Yeah. Yeah, it says it here. So T says what kind of algorithm you want to use. So ECDSA or ECDSA SK or ED25519. I think this is the default if you don't. But don't specify in newer versions of SSH keygen, ED25519, right? And you have RSA also. Right? So similarly, you can give that. And B is the number of bits of key bits. Yeah. So yeah, it is mentioned here. So 4096 bits is the size of the key. How big is your key? The bigger the key is, the stronger the protection is in simple terms. But yeah, there's the trade-off. But if you have too large a key, then it will take so much time to connect, because the verification of the key and so on, it takes time, right? So 4096 is what typically is used. But again, this is, I mean, it depends on the situation. Okay. So that's what you have. But this question was regarding the permissions. It has nothing to do with the RSA in general. Rather, with the SSH keygen, it talks about how to fix the permission. So in that case,
So the question is saying which
you
SSH
should
keygen to be
change
used.
it.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Uh-huh.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Right. Yeah, you are. Go
But
on.
the question is saying which SSH key. The question is very categorically asking for SSH key.
Yeah, but the answer is wrong. So we'll reword this one, I think. This question is, yeah. Question was asking what different
Sir, can you
command.
also explain option number 3?
Option number 3, okay, minus F minus Y. Honestly, I'm not sure of these options. So you have it, no? You have the man page here. So F says file name, okay. It says where you want to save it. So if we do SSH hyphen keygen and maybe give the type. So let's say I give the type as RSA. So minus T RSA. Minus B is 4096. So I want a key of size 4096 bits, similar to the first command. Then I want to also specify where I want to save it. Like by default, where it will save, you all know that, right? It'll go to .ssh in your home directory .ssh slash IDRSA. This is the default path, no? Even if you don't specify this with minus F, it is going to save it there. If you want to specify the file path and you want to save it somewhere else, not here, you want to save it with a different name and something like that, then you say minus F and give the path to the file you want to save the key to. Okay. And then we have minus Y also. Minus Y, it says whatever questions are coming. So there are some questions, no? Yes, no questions. You want to give some paraphrase and so on. So if you say minus Y, it automatically does Y. It automatically answers all questions that came in after doing this. So you do press enter twice, when you do SSH keygen, you have to press enter twice. So it says yes and no. So you say yes and then press enter again, you have to say yes, or something like that happens, right? If you give minus Y, then it basically says that it is yes to all questions that come up.
Sir?
without taking input. Yeah, go on, please.
Sir, for the eighth question, there was some error. So for that, if we do this last option, then it might solve that error, right?
Which error? Yeah, this error. No, yeah, this error will be solved with this one. Uh,
With
SSH keygen minus R, capital R.
the
That will
last
fix it.
option, yeah,
The
for the
last
next.
option. Yeah, I
Okay.
think the next one
Sir,
is the last
last
option.
option is
Yeah.
only removing the host keys, not reloading it.
Oh, it's only removing it. Okay, okay. Then if you remove it and then you connect again, then it will not have a corresponding record in the no-nos files. It will create a new one. In that way, it is reloaded. So you remove it and then again make connection to the it will not check it against it because it is not there. So how do we check? We will not check it, right? So then it connects again, and this time it will take the new host key. Okay.
So we have to remove and then do again SSH keygen new.
Yeah. No, not SSH keygen. The SSH itself, meaning making the connection.
Okay.
So let's say okay. So for the benefit of everyone, what I'm saying is that you're trying to do SSH user underscore at the rate remote VM. You get this error,
Sir,
and it prevents you from accessing the VM. Then you go, you do SSH keygen slash r minus r remote VM, and then you try doing this command again. The first one, this one. You do SSH again. This time you'll be able to get in. That's what it is.
Okay, super.
sir, enough discussion. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So we will move on 10th. So what will be the output of the following command? It says this one is easy, no? Brace expansion.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. A and then B1, B2, C. Because for B you have 1 and 2 also. So it will expand out to 1 and 2. B1, B2. This one is easy. Right. Okay. This one is about, I think, VI editor and Emacs. Like what are the shortcuts? You have to remember that, no? So it says we are going to delete the 7th line and save and exit. So, okay. So you have a file name is there, .txt. You are going to delete the 7th line and then save and exit. That's the thing that you want to do. Okay. So we have to see how to do that. Yeah, let us see for VI first. I think for VI I had to give column, no? A colon and then the number. Yeah. So VI, what happens is that if you give colon, it asks for the line number you want to go to. Okay, so then you give the line number, like in this case 7. So once I am at line number 7, I do DD, so it will delete the line. And then I do colon WQ so that it writes and saves it.
So can we also do directly :7 DD?
Yeah, I think you can do that too.
So I think in that case it will delete 7 lines starting from where the cursor is.
Okay. Okay, 7 lines from where
Yeah.
the cursor is. Okay.
That will lead to 7DD.
Yeah.
Okay, so you first go there and then delete, is it?
Yes, sir. If we do 7DD, it means we are deleting 7 lines from where the cursor is.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
thanks for pointing out. In
but
that case,
:7 DD, will that be different?
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
this
That's what
is
I'm
about
saying.
colon only, right?
No, when we do 7 DD, it will delete
After
from
you
the
give colon,
current.
you give the name.
When we have a colon in front, will it be different?
No, so colon is to give the line number. Like if you do 7 directly, it will not work. So maybe we will try this one also. So you have
Yes,
to always give column. Colon you have
yes,
to give,
sir.
right?
It is necessary to put the column before write anything.
It is in command mode, I guess. That's why it's indicating that when we
Correct.
press colon, it goes into command mode. Then we can go to
It comes in.
7.
Right. And then it remains in command mode, I think, after you do colon 7. Then you do DD. But after doing DD, again, we are doing this colon WQ.
Sir, we can also do 7DD. It will remove the 7th line.
No, somebody pointed out that it'll remove all 7 lines from wherever we are currently.
Okay.
So 7DD won't work.
And sir, he's asking for deleting only the seventh line. If you have to remove 7 lines, okay, but you want to remove only the seventh line.
Yes, exactly. So we have to remove only the seventh line. So we have to go to that line and then remove only that
Yes,
single line.
yes. Yeah, you go to that line, column 7, and then DD.
Yeah, DD. Yes, exactly. That's what.
Sir, one question, sir. My Emacs is not so great. Okay. This
Okay.
VI and Emac, they'll be matched, right? So if the VI command is right and if I just select it,
Oh, okay.
is there a chance that I will get through?
Okay. The good question. I don't know. Like whether.
Because the problem will
It'll-
come is if there are two VI commands which are correct and then two Emac commands, one is
Uh,
wrong, then I'll be in trouble. You know,
in this case, I think they are matched. No, G and
it's matched here.
G7. Yeah, it is matched. I think ideally it will be matched because
Uh,
we
I guess
generally
some.
say that you stick to one of the editors.
No,
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Do you?
Yeah, yes, sir. The
I
same command
actually
was.
like VI a lot. Okay, I like it much better than Emacs. But there
Right.
are
Right.
other people who like Emacs, and so if the exam paper setter is a Emacs guy, then we are in trouble.
Uh,
Uh,
sir, just I think what the instructor was saying.
I think it'll be paired up. Go on, please.
Yeah, I think one of the instructors, what others is asking, that's we have asked this question earlier also. I think one of the instructor was saying that generally there will be combination like VI and Emacs. So if we find
Uh,
that this VI option is correct, so the corresponding Emacs
uh,
answer will be correct by default. That has been told to us in one of the sessions.
okay, okay, okay. You have a clarification on that already, then that is good. Okay, very nice. All right, so then we'll move on to the next one. I think this one is easy. You just have to go through the man page once, right? To remember that.
Sir, in the exam, how many questions can we expect from the editors, VI or Emacs?
Editors, okay.
No, this is the editor
Uh,
based question.
right, right. No, no. So maybe a couple of them. I don't know exactly the number, but yeah, you may expect a couple of them.
Sir, also,
Huh?
sir, there is ED or EX editors as well, right? So line editor. So those commands also we should know.
See, whatever is in the syllabus for quiz one, you can expect to see questions. I think most probably it'll be a uniform distribution. So I think one or two questions you may expect, but yeah, I mean, it's similar. I think it'll be similar to how the mock is.
Sir, actually, it is very difficult to remember the shortcuts for Emacs editor.
I see. Right. I mean, it depends on whatever you use. If you use Emacs, then you certainly, I mean, you start to remember all those because you have to use it, right? So you have to use the shortcuts also. So you remember it. If you use VI, then it, of course, it's difficult to remember the other one as well. It's okay. I think, don't worry about that. If one of the editors also, if you are comfortable with that, no, it should not be a problem,
No, sir,
ideally.
actually, I use a VI editor.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. Uh, you just select the correct option according to that. Okay. All right. I know the number. This one is easy, right? L S minus I gives us the inode for my file. Similarly, stat also you can use. Ls minus L certainly won't give it. File itself will not give it. So you have these two. We would think to remember actually. So A and C. Fine. And if you want to get the MIME type, which command you will use for MIME type?
What is it?
For MIME type, if you want to get the MIME type of the file.
File, sir. File command.
Good. So there's an argument, right? You could give that argument also. MIME type.
Yes.
Which
Okay.
type?
MIME type. MIME.
Okay.
Okay. Which of the following commands will create a directory projects under subdirectory 2024? Then create a symbolic link named current. Okay. So it has to have current. The name of the link is current, pointing to 2024, and finally verify the link. Okay. So let's see the man page. So what you have to do, we have to create a projects, and under projects we have 2024. Okay, very good. So and then we have a current, which is symbolic link to 2024. But yeah, this is easy only, right? So what do you do is that you have to have 2024 first of all, I think. So you create this and then you okay link to it. Okay. But no, this one is wrong, I think, because uh for ln, I think you give the name of the link first and then okay, you give the target first and then the link name. Okay, you just be careful about the order. I think this will be given anyway. So you are having at the last link name, right? Target is first. So then in that case, what we are doing is we are pointing to 2024. That is correct. And yeah, and the name of the link is this. So current project/current, which is okay. And then ls minus l is used to verify it. That is also fine. Yeah, this one is wrong. Option C is wrong because you don't go into that. Have mkdir minus p project/2024, but you don't go inside of that without doing cd. Since we are not going inside that, this 2024 will be created in the current directory as opposed to being created in the under project. So you have to do under projects. Therefore, this is wrong. The third option. First and second, we will check what is the difference later. Let's see D. So for D, what is happening? Again, same issue. So for D, you are providing the path correctly to 2024, but the link itself is stored in the current directory, meaning in the current, it's not under projects, but it says it has to be, the link itself has to be under projects also. No? You know this one, create a directory projects, the subdirectory 2024, and then create a symbolic link name current pointing to this one. But this does not specify whether we have to do it in the current directory or under projects. I think we have to do it in the current one only in that case. It does
Sir,
not say within subdirectory, no?
sir, actually, I tried for first option is creating the broken
First, second, yeah.
symbolic link. Yes, first and second.
It is creating the broken link. Is it not redirecting
It is showing
you
in
there? Like
red
when you
color.
do CD, it is not able to go inside that. Have you created a symbolic link or just ln hard link?
Sir, symbolic link.
Okay. No, then in that case it should work. We will try this one. So the first two are correct actually. The only thing is that for mkdir minus p, when you do that, so it'll make sure it creates the parent directory also, which is projects, before creating 2024 inside of that. If you don't use minus p and directly do projects/2024, it will throw an error saying projects does not exist. Right. So for the directory to be created, the parent directory should be there. That is one.
So
And the second one is
option two got deleted. It's eliminated.
no, option two is correct. Option two is correct because you're doing both, right? You're
Sorry,
creating.
right. Sorry.
Yeah, you're doing both, and in this case, you're doing P. What I'm saying is that if you don't have P and you're not creating projects, in that case, it'll throw an error.
Right, sir.
Okay.
Sir, when I am doing CD, it is showing that no such file or directory.
Okay. Yeah, we will try running this one and see that.
Okay, sir.
So why option C is correct?
Option C is not correct. Option C is wrong because 2024 is being created in the current, meaning in the current directory itself. It has to be inside projects, no? So the difference between the two.
So the second option is wrong because projects has to be present when project/2024 has to be created. Here both the projects and project/2024 are being created in the same line. So projects itself is not present when the project/2024 is to be created. So when you run in VM, it gives an error.
Okay.
I tried it.
Yeah. Okay. So we will see this one. I think should create it in the order, but if it is not happening, then it
First,
might throw an
means
error.
like it has to be in two statements, not on the same line. Because when I ran this particular line in
Uh-huh.
VM, it gave an error.
Sure, sure. We'll try this one also. If there is
But
an error,
then
I'll
actually, in the answer, they say that the second one is also correct. So,
right.
what do you do?
Yeah, yeah. No, let me try. In case it is incorrect, I will. I'll inform the team so they'll check it.
And sir, why
Okay.
option D is incorrect?
D is incorrect because again the symbolic link itself is being created in the current directory has to be created under projects. Same thing, C and D are quite similar. So in C, the mistake you're making is that you're not creating it under projects. 2024 is not under projects. And in option D, you are having 2024 under projects, but current is not under projects. So current is in the current directory. You see the difference?
Oh, okay, got it.
Both of them have to be under projects only.
So where is
So,
it given that current should be inside projects?
Here only it is mentioned, no? Which of the following commands create directory projects with the subdirectory 2024? So it's talking about the subdirectory. Then create a symbolic link named current, okay, pointing to 2024.
So that also we should assume that it is inside that
Yeah, yeah.
projects directory.
Right, right.
Sir, for option 2 MKDIR, I also tried earlier and tried right now also. It did not
Okay.
give me any error.
Did not give any error, right? It
Yeah,
works, right?
it works.
Uh-huh. Then because it goes in order, I think, no? First you do projects and then you go like that.
So, the
Uh,
VM is different for different people.
I should not be. It is not, I think.
But then why did it give me an error?
Okay, okay. So maybe you can share your screen later,
Okay.
towards the end, and we'll discuss this. Some of the commands also I need to run and check. you know.
Sir, the
So
third option is wrong because we have not given some absolute path. So this relative path is wrong, right?
yeah, yeah. No, but then this is also
This
relative.
is wrong because current is not inside projects folder.
Yeah, I'm talking about C. So C is wrong. Option C is because 2024 is not under projects. You see?
Yes, like it cannot find 2024. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean the path itself. Yeah, you're correct.
And
Path
D is
itself
wrong
is also
because
D.
current is not inside projects.
Current is
Last
not
one.
inside projects. Yes. Yes. It will be done. Like if you were to run it, it'll run and it'll create it also, but it'll create it in the current directory,
Got it, sir.
not under projects. Okay. You have a file name sample.txt. SHA1 checksum is stored in sample.sha1. Okay. You want to ensure the checksum matches, but only print a message if it fails. Okay. Yeah. So you have this sha1 SHA1 sum, which is the command, right? To compute and check. So it does both. Okay. So let's see. Okay, we'll see this. Okay. Right, right. So or I think it will be no or yeah, yeah. So the thing with or this double bar is that if the first one fails, only then you have to go to the next one. That is the general thing for any command you have. If you are having an or in between, that is double vertical bars. In that case, if the first one fails, then only you go to the second one. If the first one passes, or yeah, if it works, then you don't go to the second one. You don't go there. So SHA1 sum that is there minus C will actually check for the checksum. Okay. Now if it does not fail, then you don't echo the message, the error message. If it fails, however, you will automatically go to the next one and echo that checksum does not match. Therefore, first one is correct. Is that okay?
Sir, why not the second one? Sir? Because they told the file name as sample.txt. Why not the
Uh-huh.
second? Go
This
to
one,
the
right?
question. Yeah, the
Uh-huh.
question. Yeah, why not the second one? Because first, if you go to the question, it's a confusing question that they are trying to confuse because your file name is sample.txt and
Uh-huh.
your checksum is in the another file stored in this file. They are telling. So they have mentioned two files. So in this case, So that is the input file. One is the
No, no. So
sample.txt
the
and
problem
one is
is,
the
there's a
ah,
problem here. The problem is that you are going to
C is
read
the check
the
the
Shavan's.
checksum.
Yeah,
Checksum.
yeah,
From
exactly.
which
So it says, yeah, it says you have to read the checksum itself from which file. Okay, you have to
yes.
give that.
But the question it is asked for the sample.txt. You have to check the sample.txt. If you scroll up,
Okay.
you have a file sample.txt and its
Yeah,
checksum is. So in
you
this
are correct.
case,
Uh,
why we didn't use in the if you the first is correct, we are not even inputting the sample.txt anywhere in that.
Right, right. So what happens is that if you have the name which is matching, it'll automatically go there and check the corresponding file. You see, I
Ah.
think perhaps you have the file name also
But
in the
the
Shavan.
checksum has to be verified in the input file. The input file is sample.txt.
Right, right.
But the
So
checksum is stored in the star.1. The
Shadow,
extension is star1.
Shawan, yeah,
That's how.
Shawan, yeah. That's how.
So in
So
this
we will do
case,
that.
yeah, in this case, the second one seems to be right, in my opinion. But if there is a first one, you need to check.
Yeah, yeah, I'll check that. That is okay. But what I'm saying is that there are two things. One is that this does not say, the man page does not say about the file itself. It says whichever file to read the checksum from if you're doing check. So in that case, you are not
It is
supposed to
reading
give.
from by minus C. It is reading from the .sha1. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, exactly. And it does not ask about the input anyway. You see,
But your
it is
question is telling, no? It's okay.
question is telling, but you see, Shavan sum, the command itself is not having that. That is one thing. The other is that you are having the option first and then the file. You see, the syntax is something like this: option and then file. However, for the second option, you see it gives the file first. Sample.txt and then says this is the checksum, and the checksum is given like this.
No, no. In the first, yeah, in the first, there is no input file mentioned, no, sir. Sample dot. In which file the checksum need to be checked? Am I right?
Right, right.
If I am
Yeah, yeah, you are
yeah.
correct. You are correct, Ollie. So it'll take the file name from the Shavan file itself, I think. That's how the format is, I think. You know,
Okay.
basically
Because the
it does
question
both.
tells
Yes, sir. I checked. Yes, sir.
question tells there are two inputs.
I checked. Uh,
It
dot .sha file first contain the hash
name,
code and then also contains the file name
file
or
name.
the path
Yeah,
name.
yeah. So it basically has both.
Ah, okay.
So then you need not specify. That is one thing. The other is that there's so many ways to figure out why it is not given like that. One is the primary reason is because it is given in the Shavan file itself. The other is that it does not accept it, meaning the manual you are saying it, seeing it here, right? Here you don't have that. You're not supposed to give the input anyway. It is given in the name that is mentioned in the Shavan file. That is one. The third thing is regarding the syntax. So you see, it says option you have to give first and then the file. However, giving another file here which is not supposed to be there. Syntactically also it is wrong. Option B. Okay. And why is option C wrong? Can
If,
anyone point out?
It
that
is
is
doing
because of
both.
because
There is
it has to
there is
satisfy
and
the both
command na?
conditions to explain,
And
or
Ah,
it'll execute both.
yeah, yeah. So what will happen is that if it passes, if it matches also, then it will say checksum does not match. However, it
right,
should not say that, right? In that case.
right.
Okay. IP address is
Sir,
of this format: a.b.c.d. Yeah, go on, please.
sir, what is that shall sum, sir?
Oh, you're asking about the checksum itself? Is that?
No, sir, before that, yeah, at the starting of the sentence, SHA,
Uh-huh.
and that one. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
SHA
So
one sum is that. What is what is that one, sir? It is
this
a
is the
command.
command. The command itself. You see user commands. The name is this.
Sir, what does it mean, Salsum?
Okay, so SHA is an algorithm. I'll not go into it. So basically, it's an algorithm that gives you a short string, to put it simply. That is called a checksum. So by that you can check the integrity of a file. So What happens is that if a file is there, you compute its checksum. Now, if something happens to that file, even a slight bit here and there, even if one bit of that file changes, the entire checksum will be changed. Okay, that is the nature of the checksum algorithms that are there. It is made such that that happens, right? So if you have a different file, it gives you a different checksum always. If you have the same file on the other hand, then for two same files, the checksum will be same. Is that fine?
Sir?
Yes.
Yeah, go on, please.
Sir, in this we are SHA-1 sum minus C and the file name where we store the SHA-1 checksum, that file
Uh-huh.
name we have given. So from the
Right,
file
right.
it will find the file name
Name.
and then
Uh,
check both the checksum.
yeah, so it will basically compute the checksum of that file, whatever file path is specified, file name is specified, and then check it, compare it against whatever is specified in the SHA-1 file. If it matches, then it says
Okay.
checksum is valid. If it is not, then it says it is
So
not
from the checksum itself it can directly find the file name. Like
valid. Yeah,
sample.txt.
yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. It's there. It's part of the format of the SHA-1 file. Okay, so and internet protocol address. Yeah, this part we've seen, right? ABCD. This is the kind of IP address you see.
Sir,
Okay.
there is one problem with this question, option for this question. They are not enforcing 0 to 255.
Okay. IP addresses. No,
So
only on
kindly
top of
explain
it
this
we had to do.
question, sir. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but for this, so, like we discussed that we have to see only the examples given in this list, like 1 to 10.
Yeah, yeah,
When?
exactly.
Okay, I may miss that lecture. Sorry.
Um,
Okay,
So
was
this
it discussed already? Might have been discussed in the TA
sir,
session.
since we are on this question, could you please explain this question?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So the internet protocol IP address, that is called the IP address, right?
Right.
Internet protocol address is of this format. So you have four, what do you call it? 4 bytes, if you will, right? So it all goes from 0 to 255 because it starts from 0, it goes up to 255. So you have one part of it like A, and then similarly B also goes from 0 to 255, C and D. Similarly, each part is an integer as it says. So there are specific ranges of the IP addresses reserved for private networks. Some classes are there, some classifications is there given there. Just give me one moment, please. Yeah, some classifications have been given. So it happens like by the convention to some extent that when you have a class A IP address, then this will be of this format like this. It will start with the A segment, the first segment which is A will always be 10, and then inside the rest of it could go from 000 to 255, 255, 255. That is about class A. Whatever class A IP address you have, this will be the format. Similarly, for class B, it is something like this. You start with 172.16 and it goes up until 172.31 to 255.255 and so on. So this is like a range of of uh, of IP addresses for different classes that are there. Okay, similarly, class C address is 192.168.0.0 and it goes up until 192.168.255.255. That's what we have. Okay.
so these are all private IP address, private network, not the public one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is for private networks, meaning for your home network or for work networks or for any network that is classified as private, basically. Okay, that is coming from convention actually. Okay, so there are some technicalities to that also, but we'll discuss that. Maybe it's not for the purpose of this class. We'll not discuss that. Okay, so it says given the following link of IP addresses, yeah, it's all sorts of IP addresses are given, right? So for example, A.A.class B, now it is class C, right? It is none of these and so on. So I think it says a specific thing. It says we have to match from class A and class C. Okay, and class C. So we don't need to match class B then in that case, right? So either it is going to be something like 10 dot something something something, or it is going to be 192.168 something something. Okay, this is the two kinds of addresses that we want to match from this list. Okay, so class B we are not going to match, and whichever is not matching any of the three, we are not going to match anyway, right? So for example, number 7 will not match any of the IP addresses. I think number 8 will not match, and so on. So you have to just figure out.
But in examples, class B are also given, right?
Yeah, example class B is given, but in the question you don't have it, right?
Which is the following will match IP. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It says
Okay.
class A and class C. So
Okay.
I
Then yeah.
presume that this is only about that. Anyway,
Okay. Then.
so it
So why is
says
the third option wrong?
third option.
Yeah,
Okay, so we have to.
let us discuss one by one option, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Because we all have
Okay,
to unpack it. So many things are
okay,
happening here.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay. So the first one, let's see what happens. It says in the beginning. Okay, it does not say in the beginning, but it is assumed to be that like that. So it says in the beginning we are going to have 10 dot. Okay, so yeah, we are saying that we are going to start with 10 dot or. So this bar is the or we are going to start with 192.168 dot, and then you have something, right? So after dot, and after that you can have 0 to 9, either once or twice or thrice, because up to 3 digits you are accepting, right? uh you can have 100, 101, 102, 103, and so on. 3 digits are there. So it says after the dot, meaning after this second dot that you have. So 192 dot is first dot, the second dot is after the 168. So then after that we are saying that 0 to 9, meaning any digit could be there that could be repeated either once or twice or thrice, to allow for the uh, three digits numbers that will be there. And then from after that dot, meaning after this x, and then again we have a dot. So that is this part. So 4 parts are there, right, to it. There are 4 parts to it. So I'm talking about 192.168, for example. So if you match this part first, so you have 192.168 already, and then you have 2 more segments. So first segment is 0 to 9, up to 3 digits, and similarly again 0 to 9 up to 3 digits. But I see one problem here in this first one. One problem is that when it matches with 192.168, it is okay because 2 segments are done already. The last 2 will not be done, so you are going to match like this, the last 2. But if it matches with 10, then in that case you have 3 segments to fill, right? So if this part is matched, then I'm saying that I'm only having 2 more segments after that. So that will, in that way it will be wrong, right? Because you have to have 3 then in that case. You are getting the difference here?
Yes,
First
in
one?
case of 10, right?
Yeah, in case of 10 it'll create an issue.
Correct. So this
Sir,
got wrong.
Yes,
So
sir.
this got wrong. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is wrong.
That's why it's
this
Okay.
wrong.
first OR operator is for 10 and 192 or 10 and only
No. So
for
it is
10
it is it is for
No,
this part.
after 10, if we have this later option of 0 to 9, 1 to 3 times
Yeah,
before
this one, right?
the
Ah,
before the pipe, then it would have been okay. There should have been one
before
more.
the pipe.
Yes.
Yeah. So in this case, in this case, what we are doing is that we are kind of distributing both. So this pipe actually comes in
Hmm.
between. So this second one I'm telling. Okay, so it
Yeah.
says 10 dot, and then you have first segment, second segment, third segment. Okay.
Hurts.
Yeah, 3 segments are there with 10, and similarly for 192.168 you have two
So
segments, right?
second
So
one is correct. It means.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Second
second
one
one
is
is
correct.
right.
Sir,
Second one is correct. Okay, and then you have
sir,
third one. Go on, please.
sir. The objective of the question is to we need to take and print class B and class C IP
Address.
address, sir. So
Right.
can we use grep command also, sir? Which means
Uh,
at
This,
starting, one of the pattern is we need to have a 10 and a dot, and the next is we need to have 192.168 and some any numbers. So can we use grep command or egrep, sir?
yeah. So this regular expression will be run using grep only. No, this is for the regular expression. When you run grep, you have to
Okay, sir.
provide some expression. No, this is what that expression is going to be.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. But
Okay.
before uh, we cannot just like that uh, form the pattern such that it starts with 10 and a dot, and then any numbers can be printed like that. We cannot do, sir.
I'm sorry, Prithvi, I'm not getting your query. Could you please come again? I didn't get that.
I'm asking, sir, the objective
Uh-huh.
is to find class A and class B. First, the class B starts with 10 dot and any numbers, sir.
Right. No, class A. This is class A. 10 dot is class A.
Okay, sir, and the class C is 192.168 dot and some any numbers, sir.
Right. Okay.
So we cannot just like that uh, enter that command itself like grep first. I mean single quotes inside we cannot print 10 dot like that we cannot print as sir.
No, no, that is what I think we are doing. But if you are saying can't we match from this list, if that is what you're saying, then no. But we have given this list, that is okay. But this list may change also, no? So if this list changes, the numbers will also change. So you need a general enough expression. You cannot just like, okay, from this list we know what is what. So that way we can take it if you that is what you are asking. However, this list can change also, no? So we have to come up with an expression that is general. So even if, let's say I change the list of IP addresses, then still you are able to, from that list, figure out which are class A, which are class C.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. All right. Okay, so
Sir,
then,
here
yeah,
it,
the first one is eliminated. Second one is correct. Third one we will
Now let us
look.
move to third one, sir. Yes.
sir, here it is mentioned that
Go on, please.
extended regular expressions. So then why
Okay.
are we? So can we use backslash before parenthesis in the extended, because there we do not use, right? We directly give parenthesis.
It's an error, I guess, in the options. Like if they can, I tried without it, and it is work. It was working. So it was. It is just they did for regular,
No, I think
basic regular expression.
so. If you escape it, I think it won't hurt anyway, right? Even in the
Hmm.
extended version.
Yeah, extended version allow this, but they did it anyway.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we will
So we
check
can
that if that works
do both
without
ways
the.
without an.
Yeah, but you have to be careful about this one. I think, yeah, what happens in the extended version is sometimes. I think we had a discussion about that. No, extended version will have some special meanings for some of the characters. Then you need to escape it. For the basic one, we don't have that those characters which have a special meaning. Some of them still have a special meaning. Some of the other ones do not have a special meaning. So then in that case, you uh, don't need to escape it. The other thing to note is if you are going to run it on bash, right, then you have to always escape those characters which pertain to special syntax in bash. We are not talking about regular expressions per se. Okay? In regular expressions, it might be that you escape or you don't escape. It depends on what kind of expression you are using. So sometimes you need to escape, sometimes you don't need to escape. However, remember that if you are going to run it on the terminal on bash, then whatever is special to bash, you must escape it. So for example, this might be considered brace expansion also. So then in that case, you have to escape that braces. You see?
You mean to
Is that
say
clear?
the eval test or eval using a test or eval option, sir?
No, no, no. In general also, like if it'll
So
throw a
this is
syntax error.
this command we are trying to run in the grep only, no, sir?
Yeah, in the grep only, but it might be that you are giving
Voice is breaking, sir.
this input. So okay, so this expression, whatever is this, yeah. Can you hear me now? Is that fine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. What I'm saying is this expression you are going to give it as input to grep. No. So it might be that when you are giving this input, you are giving it on the terminal. So it might be that you are giving it in a file, or it might be that you're giving it in a script and so on. But it might be that you are giving it on the terminal itself. Right. In that case, whatever is special to grep, whatever is special to bash, you need to escape it.
It is part of the grep argument only, no? Or a option or a switch, because grep minus e or grep
Yeah.
with
So you,
within the quotation we are going to give, right, sir?
yeah, if you give it within quotation, then it is okay. So if you have extended, then you need not escape it, as I think somebody has pointed out, Imanshu, I think, pointed out that we need not escape in that case. So this is a general enough case
If
that,
we do it in single quote do not hold special meaning for the shell commands if we do it
yeah,
something in single quote.
single quotes. Yeah, in that case, you need not escape because it is already like it does not have any special meaning in that case, right? So okay. So
Okay.
without further delaying this, I think we can discuss C and D. So the C is C. Okay, so B I think is correct. C, what happens is you have 10 and then it says 0 to 9.
1 to 3
Okay,
times. 1 to 3 times. Yeah.
1 to 3 times. This is one segment only, no? And then
Right.
you have okay, and then it says 2.
Two means what? That part is not mentioned. I think.
Hmm.
2 times of what? That is.
Two
Two
times
times
entire
of
thing.
this
This part,
block.
this part.
Hmm.
The 0 to 9, 1 to 3 times this internal part. This you are having a parentheses, right? So this entire expression is
Yeah,
again repeated twice.
twice.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Good.
And then again, third time it is given. So that is okay. And I thought the third option was correct.
No, no. So we will see that. So for 10, how much you need? How many you need? You need 3, right? So for 2 times you are
Hmm.
saying it is going to be there, and
Yes. Third time is also there.
for
For
the third one you are saying it is given. Okay, the third one is
Right.
separately given. Okay, and
Hmm.
for
Fourth one
192
is
that one.
given separately.
The next part. There is a
row,
dot at the last. And
yeah, there's a dot at the last
Oh
that is getting
yes,
repeated.
yes, yes. It
Where?
should
Where?
not happen.
Where?
Yes, yes, yes. That last
the
dot which is there, that
second
should not
IP
be there.
address, yeah, the dot is
Yes.
repeated
Hmm.
twice. It is included in
Yeah,
the.
that is also repeated twice.
Okay,
It should be
okay.
only once.
Ha
Once
ha.
means like that expression should be given separately for two values.
Right. Therefore, C is wrong
Right,
also.
that is right. That is why it is wrong.
Hmm. Because you have an additional dot or
Dot
period
at
at
the
the end.
end. At the
Huh.
end, there will be an extra dot.
And let's see for last one. It says
So fourth is completely matching with
hmm,
second option. Fourth is completely
1
Yes,
to
matching.
3.
yes.
That is okay. 0 to 9 again. Second.
So fourth is almost the same. Is exactly the
Same
Yes.
same.
as
Yes.
same as the
Yeah,
second
that
one.
fixes the third option. So it's the fix of third option only.
Second
Third
and
option is wrong.
The what
second,
error third
second,
option
second and
has,
fourth are
fourth option
identical.
fixes that.
Yeah, second and fourth are identical answer. Yeah.
Identical.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Both are identical. Okay.
Same only, sir.
Without,
Uh-huh.
sir, in the like in the question above there is like x dot x, and in
Yeah,
these
both are
values
same.
we have like 0 to 9 and 3 times, but in the actual range it is written as 0 to 255. Then how is this correct, like overall?
Which one? 0 to 255. That one, right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's okay. It might be that there are some things which are not IP addresses and you will match it. That will happen. Maybe let's say for some of the segments it is given as 300, right? So that is not supposed to be there. It will match. I know for a list of IP addresses, how do you match from that? Okay, so here the question is not about finding out whether the IP address is valid or not. Rather, we are saying that if you have been given an IP address and it is assumed to be correct, then how do you figure out which are class A and which are class C? Okay, so in that way it works, right?
Okay,
Right?
got it. So you have to see the examples and according to that do this rather
Yeah,
than.
yeah, exactly. Therefore, we have been having 10 examples in this one, right?
Okay, so
Yeah. All right. So that brings us to a close. If you wish to, is there any command? Okay, let me just run through again quickly. So for those commands whichever we are having some issues, I'll try to quickly run that. So this one is okay. Right, this does not have any issue, I think.
Watch
This
it.
again is okay because you. Yeah, is it fine now?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So what I was saying is the first one is okay, right? There's no issue in that. Second one, we've seen that. Uh, do I need to demonstrate this one or is it okay?
Sir, it's fine, sir.
Okay.
So we had
All
a
right.
issue problem with the first option, like
Alright.
double quotes in the prior question.
This one, right? Okay.
The
Okay.
double quotes.
I don't have the JSON with this one, so
I checked this. So this expression in the first option is used to match something within a double quotes and that does not contain any double quote in between.
okay.
So we are just checking anything with double quotes. After email colon, this can match anything that is starting, I mean enclosed inside a double quotes.
Okay. Okay. I see.
So
So,
this because this is matching because of the email that is written in front of it, not because of this expression.
so the double quotes here used are three times, right? I mean, before the open braces.
No, the second one is to exclude inside the square
This is a
bracket.
literal actually. This is taken as a literal.
No, no. When we come from start, so the email it starts with double quotes, email,
This is to match this one.
then double quotes. So which means that's a string, or how does
That's
that?
a string. That's a string. It's a
But
literal. We are taking it literally.
followed by a colon space, which is not within a double quote, right?
No, Suresh sir, this whole thing will come inside a single
Yeah,
quote.
yeah. So
Okay, okay. Yeah, then it makes sense. Okay.
right. Yeah, we are not talking about the actual quotes that will be there to provide this expression. Rather, this is the expression itself. What will be inside of it.
Okay, okay. I was seeing it without the single quotes. Yeah, I picture.
Okay, okay. So that is okay. The third one, I think we discussed it, right? This one I had a confusion, so maybe we can check it quickly.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one is about the order. Error will not be passed. Error will come to screen in this code.
Second one, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, let us
Fine.
quickly see.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So echo, and then I say, what do I say? So for example, okay, I have to share the screen also.
Yeah.
I'm going to share the terminal. We'll try to close it by 4:30 also. Um, okay. So we have this, right? So let's say I do ls blah, which is going to give me an error, and I say I'm going to output it to output.txt. Right. So output, the error comes on the screen, and the output will not have anything. It is blank, right? Okay. Let me quickly see the question also. Right. So assuming that this is the thing, and okay, so we can have two separate things, right? Two commands. So echo hello, and then this is the entire thing. Can I use brackets to make it like this? Yeah. So in this case, what happens is that for output you have hello because echo hello is not having an error. It gives you that, and ls blank gives an error on the outside. So assume that this is the command part of the option that is given, right? So then in that case, what else we have? Okay. So this part is what we are doing. If if I were to add here two greater than and one, so both of the things go there, right? So you see both of the things are there, and the error comes later. That is okay. What about this second option? So second option is you have the command first, and then after that command you have two greater than and one, and then you out to output like yes txt cat output.
So error is on the screen and
Uh,
output is in that's
Okay,
the
here
uh,
problem.
why is that? Because by the time when we tried to access and one here, it wasn't redirected, right? So this and one is still pointing to the screen when you're going to access that. So two greater than and one says we are going to output to a screen in that way, right? And then you are redirecting the output to output.txt, but the error remains on the screen. You see? So for example, I want to show you something else. So for example, if I say I am going to pass it on to yeah. So if I say if I'm going to pass it on to dev now, for example, this is output is going to dev null. Okay, or let's say not to dev null. Maybe I'll output. Yeah. So I say output 2.txt first. So it goes to output 2.txt, and then I'm saying that error should go to and one, which means output 2, right? And then again I'm saying output.txt. Is this even syntactically valid? We have to see that. Okay. So now let me in fact remove all that output. We'll see that again. Okay. What I meant is you're done with this, and then you go to so you see output. In output, you'll have it. I think. Yeah, you see in the output.txt, you still have the output, which is coming from this part, right? But the error will go to output 2. Error did not come on the screen this time. Error will go to output 2. So if you see like this, because we redirected the standard output to output 2, and then we said error has to go to wherever 1 is going, meaning wherever the standard output is. So by at that time, actually, it was going to output 2, so it went there. But then we again instructed saying that the standard output should go to output. Therefore, it only went to output.txt. You see what is happening there?
Yes, sir. So error
Okay.
goes first before even before the output. So
Yeah, but it also depends on whatever is preceding that. Like this part that I added, only because of this it is happening that it is going to output 2. Otherwise, how does error know that it has to go to output 2? The like this part 2 greater than how is it going to output 2? It should as well go to output.txt. How is error getting redirected here is because prior to this, prior to doing this part, we have redirected output to output 2, and then again we instructed saying this. So if we don't say that, if we don't say that before redirecting, then what is the default output currently? It is the standard output, which is the screen, right? So I say 2 greater than and 1, this part, it says I'm going to output to a screen, error also. Error is anyway going to screen, but output is also going to screen. I'm saying that wherever output is going, I want to redirect the error there too. So that is happening. And then I said again that standard output, which is 1, should go to output.txt. So that part actually remained onto the screen, the error part. So error still shows up there. However, the output as
Sir,
usual will
take this
go to
command.
output. Sorry.
Sir,
Sorry, do you want
take
me to
the
paste this?
command again. This last command you run,
Uh, uh,
and
uh.
in front of this redirection, place one. Oh,
Yeah, it's the
sorry,
same
two,
thing
two,
still.
two, two, two. Sorry, two. I want to redirect the error.
Okay. Okay, two go to one. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So see, output comes on the screen now because one we are not redirecting at all. Okay, and error goes to one, and then two goes to output. So in that case, you would see it in output, I think. Yeah, error goes to output in this case, right? Because we just override that. No, we said we are going to redirect to and one, and then we said we are going to redirect to output two. You see, it is something similar to saying that I say error has to go to error one.txt, and then again I say that error has to go to error two.txt, for example. Then it will go to the later one, right? The last one. You see what happens? Like this. It's the same thing. So in this case, it will go to error two actually. Error one will be empty. See, error one is empty. If you go to error two, you will see that. Fine.
Yes, sir. Fine, absolutely fine.
Sir, can you
No.
explain once again why the error is going to the error 2?
Because whatever comes last, no. So first we said we are going to redirect to error 1. Then we said we are going to redirect to error 2. So it is going to take up the last one.
Okay,
Fine.
it is kind of redefining the same thing. So it is
Sir,
taking the
just
last part.
Exactly.
so just run one more command. So just run ls
Huh?
ls and one redirected to out one dot text and then again one redirected to out two dot text.
Just give me one moment, please. Yeah.
No. Just you can write it. It will create there those files.
Okay, fine.
So ls
No, it's
redirect
fine. I just wanted to do it. Yeah. Hmm? Two.
out one dot text
Huh?
and then again so the same out two dot text
Fine.
again redirected to out two dot text. But your file doesn't have anything, so what it will
Okay.
show. So before that, add
Yeah,
something.
it does not have. So we can do ls
Yeah,
slash
anything which have some output.
etc. No, not etc. Let's see. Uh, what do you have?
Logs,
ls
where
bin,
logs,
right?
maybe okay.
Okay, yeah, bin. So then in that case, it is going to go to, I think, output one.
Output two
Yeah.
dot text. So redirected. You didn't write the symbol of redirection before out two.
Okay, twice you want me to add it like this?
Yes. This thing.
Yeah. In that case, yes. In that case, it goes to two.
And output one will be
Yes.
created, but it will be empty.
Right. So let me do that again. In fact, because earlier we tried the different commands. So done. Now nothing is there. I am going to do that. So it is going to go to two, is what I'm saying. Okay. So it will be created. You have it. Sorry. You have
Empty.
it empty,
And out two will be heading
and
out.
then you go to two. We're having that. Yeah.
That is why those things happen with that
Fine.
command.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I think that's what we have. Three is done. I'll share my screen again. Just give me one moment. I'll see the. Oh, okay. So fourth one is important too. See if I can quickly cover that up. So this one. So it says command and that difference that was there, right? So for that, what is the command to show? So for example, if I were to do sleep, right? Right. So I'll try this one, number 4 with sleep. I think these are the only two that needs to be discussed, right? This one we'll discuss. This part I think is okay. I'll check with the team once regarding the W and the L because it makes a difference, right? You're counting the words that was raised, right? This one I'll check and maybe we'll describe something about that. Maybe you put on discourse or something. Okay,
This
this
is
one we
okay.
have discussed. This is yeah. This part, the two open part. Okay. How can we? Maybe we'll describe it in one of the next session. Maybe you can ask. Okay, tomorrow is the quiz only, right? Not. Okay. Maybe you can take it as it is given, but for the two open part, I have to describe, right? Okay. So number 4, the such. What else? This is okay. This I think is okay also. Yeah. CH mod. You know that 600 should be there. This is okay. This is again manual page. This we know. This is fine also, I think. Yeah. Somebody mentioned that it is not working for them. So please try it out again. It should work, I think. Uh, this one is okay. We discussed it. And this is also fine. Yeah. So let me quickly just do number 4. This one.
Sir, can
Number
you
4.
also
I'll
do question number 13?
13. Okay. 13 is what? Um, 13 is which question? 13 is, oh, this one. Okay. Yeah, sure. It will not take much time. I'll do that too. Let us try doing this one. So it says let's say I'm doing sleep for 5 seconds, right? And I am going to echo this part like this, right? So it is going to go, it is going to run that sleep command in the background for 5 seconds and echo it onto the onto the screens. You see. So when you do, and it this comes because of the terminal. Okay. So you have to be careful about this. So in fact, I can also demonstrate that part. If I were to have a script here, why is that important is because you see sleep 5 seconds and echo this part. Oops, this right. This is the command that you have. Now, if I were to, you see, it only gets so this part, this one that you were getting earlier when you tried to run it on the terminal, you're no longer getting that, right? So this default that comes in is not like it's something with the terminal. So in general, for the command itself, it is not there. So therefore, we said that we had to echo also separately. So if you do echo, then you see it only once. And if I were not to do echo, then I'll not see that, of course, right? And the other part of it is the other
So it does
option.
in the background, sir. This sleep for 5 seconds.
Yeah, it does in the back. Therefore, and right, ampersand is doing that.
Okay, like how did you confirm that? Yeah, okay, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, because otherwise it'll stop for 5 seconds.
Okay, we have to run this script.
Yeah, if you do yeah, if you do a script, or you can do it directly also. Like let me do directly. So the other option is this, and then I'm going to do echo. So in this case, it will not work. Sorry, because first of all, it'll sleep for 5 seconds. So maybe let me do 3 seconds. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So it waited for 3 seconds, and this it is not running in the background. That is the issue with this second option. The third option is where the confusion was sleep, and then I have and this one, and then I'm going to. So this one, I'm saying that this is going to run in the background, but it will not echo the it will not echo the PID of that. Oh, this is syntactically wrong. Yeah, okay.
Sir,
Mm.
this is syntactically wrong, and I just come across an explanation. It says that this ampersand is used to run the process in background, while this semicolon says after this process or terminated.
Oh,
So
okay,
there is
okay.
a contradiction between two things, whether to run in background or to terminate.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, very good. All right, I see. Okay, then yes, this will be syntactically wrong. So third option explains that, and the fourth one is wrong because you're not echoing again. Somebody pointed out that if you just do sleep like this, it echoes that. But this is coming from bash. Okay, this is not your command that is printing this out.
Interactive
So
mode.
therefore, option interactive mode, correct. So therefore, D is not correct. So therefore, we only have first one, which is correct. So this is done. Somebody asked me to go there. Number 13. This is fine. Okay. Yes. So it says, yeah, we look into all options, I think. Okay, where was that? This one, right? So let me make it smaller. Okay. So the first one says that I'm going to have, okay. So I'm going, is the screen visible still? Is the terminal visible?
Yes, sir. It is.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So then I'm going to do this projects 2024. If you were not to give this, then it'll throw an error, as you know. Okay. Sleep is done for 5 seconds. That's its separate thing. I have to clear it. Yeah, this is done. So this will not work. So therefore, you need to have P. And you can also have projects. So if you give P, it will work. We know that. Like this, it will work. Right. Okay. But if I were to give it like this, projects, and then I say projects like this, then also it works, right? It does not throw an error. As
Yes,
somebody was
fine.
saying, I think this is okay.
Left to right it goes.
Yeah, yeah, left to right. No, echo also you do. So what happens there? One, two, three. I mean, okay, so that's not the right way to put it. Basically, what I meant to say that if I were to expand it, it goes like this, no, in the order. Maybe it will see like this. Okay, so that was about brace extraction. Regardless, it goes in this way. So in fact, we can try it out. What happens if I were to give projects 2024 first and then projects? Yeah. Oh, it is already there. It says so. I have to remove it. Okay. Yeah, it does not work this way, right? So if I starts
Left
with
to
this,
right.
yeah, left to right. So the first one is okay, I think. Yes. Yeah. So after that, what happens? So we have this one. Yeah, done. Okay. The project is there. Project 2024 is there. Now I am going to do ls. Right. Okay. And I'm going to do ln minus s projects 2024. So this is the target to project current. So this will work, right? So this will not show up here. You have to go to projects. You see current and this one. So if you do ls minus l, you see current points to projects 2024. Fine.
No,
Okay,
sir, it
current
is
is created
broken.
here. I see what is wrong there. So basically, if you say projects is the absolute path, you have to give right here. So this is not the absolute path. Therefore, it is broken. So it is trying to do current from here. You see. So in that way, what we could have done is what we could have done is something like this. From here. Yeah, it is already there, so you have to remove it. Yeah, first remove it. I see where is the issue. So then in that case, you go to projects. So the 2024 one is actually correct. Yeah. Now it is not broken. You see, current goes to this. So say if we go to CD current, it works, right? Because we are already inside. The link is relative from the project, right? So so you do that.
Sir, it did not work, sir. What is the conclusion?
No, so the conclusion is that the link that is created if you do the first option is wrong because in the symbolic link, whatever path you give, that is relative to wherever the link is going to be stored. Okay. So so in that way, since if you look at the command, if where are we saving the link? We are in test 2, right? Okay, so we'll go back. Clear? We are in test 2. Where are we saving the link? We are saving the link in projects current. So whatever the link is going to reside here, projects current. Whatever the link is, I mean the link itself is going here. Whatever the target is, the target is relative to where the link is. Okay. So if the link is going to be in projects current, then from there the link should point to projects current. You see what I'm saying? So if I were to do this, as is the case in the original, the first option, then it basically says that under current I have to under projects I have to create the link current, and that link current will actually point to projects under that and under that 2024. You see, so it is something like this. So if I were to run this, you go to projects, you see, okay, in this case it is, no, I think the directory is already there. You have to remove it and then create again. Okay, so okay. going to create from here. Projects and what else? Slash 2024. Let's say I give P also. Fine. So if I were to do this from here, we are in test. Okay, we are in test 2. We are creating a link in projects current, meaning under test 2 we have projects. Under that we are creating the link named current. Okay, and that link is going to point to from its path, from its location, relative to its location, meaning projects current. It's going to point to projects 2024. So under projects you don't have another projects. You see, that is why it is broken. So if you now go and see, yeah, you see it is broken. It is broken because this points to projects 2024 from within this folder. So that's what I said. The first argument is relative to the place where the link is going to reside. You see, if the link is residing in projects. So since we are assumed to be in projects already, and then from there you give the path. So relative to that, the path will be just 2024, right? Because right inside projects you have 2024, no?
So, but this is only given as correct option.
Yeah. This is giving a broken link. So point out this error to the team. They'll fix it. Yes.
Like, yeah, this is the confusion, sir. So, like, when should we use absolute path and when should we use relative path
No,
in
remember,
software?
remember one thing only. If you are unsure as to what to use, then use absolute path. It will always work. If you are not sure as to what is going to happen, then always look at where the link is going to save. Going to be saved. Okay. From there you calculate the relative path. So the relative is in with respect to where the link is. Okay. Link is under projects. So the relativity is basically from projects. You see. Yeah. That part you have to be careful about.
So, but yeah, okay. This projects underscore 20 slash 2024 and this one, this is absolute link or relative?
No, no, relative from the path, the location of the link. Relative from there. Relative from where current is. So if I were
Okay.
to just let's say, so this current where it is pointing now, it is the relative path only, right? It is we all know it is relative. Whether it is broken or not is a different question. I'm just saying current is pointing to project slash 2024, and this link resides here, and this is broken. We know. Now what happens if I were to move this link current one level up? So I do dot dot. So I'm picking this link from here. It points to project slash 2024 from wherever it is residing. Now it is broken because it is currently here. I'm going to move this current, this link one level up. So it still points to projects 2024. And from here, if you see, okay, it is not moved. No, sorry. Okay. So one level up, right? We go back. So from here, if you see current, it will become valid now. The link will become valid because now it is pointing correctly. You see, wherever the link is, the relative path is with respect to the link's location. You see, so from here, if since project is there, it is valid. It becomes valid. Now I move the link, it will become invalid. You see, so the link's location or the target remains constant. It is not going to change. The address to which it is pointing, it is going to remain the same. Depending on where the link is, whether the path is resolved or not, it will depend on that. So if it is resolved, then the link is not broken. If it is not resolved, then the link is broken. Okay? So therefore I moved it one level up, and it got fixed. See, again, if I were to move it to projects 2024, right? I move it to current, current the link current to projects now. Then I go to projects, and then I say it will be broken again, because from here you don't have another projects 2024. Now, for just to demonstrate, if I were to create another directory here under project, because it is pointing to projects slash 2024, right? So I'm already in projects. I created another project inside of that, and then I create another directory called 2024 in that. So I go back. If I were to see this project now, this will become valid, because from here you have another project and another 2024. You see what is happening there?
Yes, sir. So just this is
Okay.
like we have to trace the path from the link to the source in the
To
native.
the target rather. I mean, yeah. Yes.
Sir, but the problem with
Fine.
these questions in exam is that we don't know the absolute path, like the hierarchy of the directory. So we cannot make do write the absolute path. So we'll have to rely only on the relative path.
Yeah, that is perfectly fine. You just have to make sure that two things: wherever you are currently, so it will be given, like wherever you are, regardless of that. Let's say you are in the home directory and so on. From within that, whatever commands you are running, you have to remember the sequence. So if you do cd, then you know where you go, and then if you do cd dot dot, you come back. So you have to keep a record of that. I mean, as you run the command, as you read the commands on the question, you know where you are. So at the end of the command, you figure it out, like from where what was run, and therefore what could have been the effect and so on. So that part we can basically infer from that.
So we
Okay, so
can
the
only
first one and
rely
the
on.
second one, then in that case will not work. Sorry, go on, please.
So we should only rely on relative paths, right? In the exam.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if the absolute path is not given, then whatever path is given, you have to accordingly think about that. No, like if it is absolute, then it is easier to think about it. I know, but even if it is relative, you can figure it out. No, you can calculate calculate the location in some sense, right?
Okay, so then what should have been the answers for this question?
Yeah. So the first two are incorrect actually because of the fact that they are having a link to projects and they are saving the link under projects. So under projects, there is no other project from where it should go like that. And this is relative, so this is wrong. I'll point this out to the team. What is correct is this one. Uh, Option C is correct actually, because for option C you are specifying 2024 and you are saving the link under projects. Right. So from that location, 2024 is valid actually. You see what is happening there? Like earlier, I did it right. So if I were to remove it again, let's remove this current also. Right. So you have projects and 2024. Very simple. I am here. I have done that. I have created projects and 2024. Now I want to make a link. So if I'm making a link from here, I have to think about the link from in terms of its location. So I know I'm going to save the link under projects. I know that. So from this location, wherever the link is, what is the path to 2024 from this location? From this location, it is just 2024. No, you see what is happening there? So if I'm already in projects, assuming I am already in project, I'm at the location of the link. Then from there, how do I go to 2024? Because it is directly under projects. I just give 2024. You need not give projects there. So you do that, and then in that case, if you go inside, you see that will be a valid link. This is what the question asked for.
Okay, so then option C is only correct. Only one option is.
Option C is only, yeah. Option C is correct. The same problem is there. No, so option D is also correct actually. Option C and option D both are correct. It's just that the link will be created outside, so I can show also that. So C and D both are correct. So if in that case, what happens is if you are here, I have already created projects in 2024. I'm going to do ln minus s projects. So I am linking to where? I am linking to 2024. That is the link with respect to this directory. This because this is like dot slash, no? If you don't give it like so current directory itself. So from the current directory, is it reachable? Yes, it is reachable, right? Because from the current directory, the path is this. So projects 2024. So if I were to save it here, the link is going to be saved here. It will be a valid link to that, right? So then in that case, I save it. I do ls minus l. You see, it's a valid link. See? Current
Sir,
is
but
pointing to projects 2024.
this current is in not inside projects.
Not inside projects. Yeah.
In
So
option
according
C
to
it is
whatever the
inside
condition.
projects. In D it is outside project.
Outside. But both links are valid. Okay. Fine. We will. I'll describe it. I will describe it to the team. Maybe they'll fix it. Okay. So that's about it. I think rest of it we can.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I have one more question.
Like,
Sir, can you explain
yeah,
why we cannot move hard links?
hard links we cannot move because okay, that is because that's okay, that's a hard link, but again that does not explain anything. So in the hard link, actually there is this link which is created on the hardware level, if you understand what I mean, right? So on the file
Yes, sir. It
system
points
level
to
rather.
a
Yeah,
storage area. Yeah.
exactly. Whereas the soft link is more like a link to you know the difference between shortcut versus moving a file itself, you know. So there is the link is like a shortcut, if I mean to state in informally. Basically link is like a shortcut, so you go there and wherever it points to, you go to that location. So in that case, if the actual file is not there, then the link is said to have broken. You see, because that file is not there, but it is just linking to that. It's like more like a virtual thing that you have, soft link. Right, it is pointing to somewhere. Whether that is there or not is something that we don't know. Whereas for hard link, it is actually a file which is linked, to other location, and and the inode numbers are also same. So it is like as if there are two locations which are pointing to the same file which is on the disk, on the operating system or the file system that
It
is
is
there.
like giving the same name to two dictionaries or list, right?
Think about it like that also.
Sir,
Yeah, go on, Prashant, please.
so we discussed about soft link and we came to some conclusion. The same is valid even for creating hard links, right? The absolute path or relative path.
Okay, so I think conclusion was that for soft links, see, if you use absolute path, then that is going to always work. So I mean that's out of the question. If you are doing relative path, then for soft link, you know what to do. Currently, we described it, right? So then it is relative to wherever the file, the link itself is going to be stored. Okay. And for hard link, it is okay if you use absolute paths, but uh, I think you can use relative paths also. No? It'll work. I think the same way. Similar to how soft links are.
Okay. Okay, sir.
It works. It works. I tried in BPT one.
It works, right? Uh-huh. Okay, then
But
yeah,
yeah,
we can
but
try
in
it.
PPT only absolute path worked. I tried relative path. That was not working, so I used absolute.
No, so for these kinds of questions, no, in the exams, meaning in the practical exam, maybe in the OPP and so on, or for the BPT, maybe you should stick to absolute paths. No? It doesn't take much to have that. Okay. All right. So with this, we can close. I think for today,
Sir,
and thank you all
few doubts.
for.
Sir. Like hard links cannot be moved, but soft link can be moved.
Yeah, soft links can be moved. Yes.
Sir,
All
also,
right. All right.
sir, also
Uh-huh.
AMD 64 processor is it same as x86 64?
Okay. No, actually they are different, but certain things are same, and that will be a discussion for another day, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Also, the can we expect the quiz pattern to be like at least the number of questions, the difficulty level, say like sim comparable to
Yeah.
mock?
Comparable to mock, perhaps one notch higher than that. Okay, I think we can. With this, we can close. Thank you all for attending, and we wish you all the best
Thank
for
you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
your
Thank you,
exam.
sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. Done, sir.
Thank you, sir. All the best.